All right, before we make anything together, let's try to put these pattern pieces together. Hopefully this video answers questions you may have and makes the process a little bit easier. First thing you want to do is take that very first page, print it out 100% scale. You do not want to resize anything because that square that you see me measuring is measuring at 1 inch by 1 inch. That's the outer square, and the inner square measures at 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters. I also made this little map that shows the layout of the pattern pages after you've cut them all out and taped them all together. I like to cut the same sides of each pattern piece. That just keeps things consistent and easier. So here you see me chopping off the right border and overlapping to the next page on the left border of the next page. You also have these little guides on top, or I should say on each corner of your pattern piece, that measure at 1 inch by 1 inch or 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. That kind of helps give you a visual point to make sure you're being consistent with your taping. You see me again taping the 2B to the 3B. So the whole layout is 1A, 2A, 3B. Oh my gosh, 1A, 2A, 3A. And then the next row down would be 1B, 2B, 3B, and so on and so forth. Okay, I'm pointing at where I'm cutting next. So it's just moving right along, so try to keep up. All right, we're cutting the bottom edge. Like I said, I like to be consistent, so we cut off the left side first. Now I'm cutting off the bottom side of each piece, and I am just going to go ahead and cut. That's what we're doing. The majority of this is cutting and taping. Sorry, you may hear my dog walking around. She's a German Shepherd. She's massive, and she has very loud footsteps. Anyways, so you tape together where the pieces are connected. I would also recommend, I did not do that, but you will see my mistake later on. I would also recommend taping down the back sides once you have this entire thing put together. That will save you some headache. You'll see the headache later on. So learn from my mistakes, carry on. We're just gonna keep going, taping here. I had to untape this piece because it was a little bit crooked. I'm very particular about having my pattern pieces line up exactly. If your pattern pieces don't line up perfectly, that's probably fine. I'm just very OCD about it. So here you see me kind of picking it up, readjusting this piece, and making it perfect. And then we're moving right along to 3C. Now we're pretty much almost done taping the entire thing together. Depending on what pattern you're using, you may have more than this, you may have less, but again, the general rule is pretty basic. So I think I'm just showing you the size range I chose. I thought I would highlight it just to make it easier to see. However, I don't really think that was necessary. So this is not something you have to do. I was just trying to see if I could do that for the camera. Anyways, so once you've figured out which size you are cutting out, you want to make a note of what that line looks like and just go right along and cut each piece out. It's pretty easy and straightforward, I feel like. So I cut out a lot of the footage of me cutting out, sorry, pun, the rest of the pattern just because it was a lot of footage. Didn't think you needed to see all of that. But I kept this piece here because there was that one little step that I was like, hey, tape the back sides of your patterns. This is why, because that little piece hiding, yep, that little guy right there, that was actually a piece of the pattern and I thought it was trash. So definitely learn from my mistakes, just tape the back sides. It's one extra step and it's worth it in the end, so you don't have to try to figure out where you're putting those little pieces. So yeah, just go right ahead, keep cutting the rest of your pattern pieces out. It's very easy. I feel like pretty straightforward. Yeah, just keep going. You can do this. You got this. Another step I like to do after all my pieces are cut out is to write the size down. If I ever want to reuse these patterns in the future and I don't have the size written on them, it's a little bit of a headache because it's like, what size did I make this? And then I have to pull the pattern out and I have to figure it out. It's not fun. So yeah, just take that little extra step to jot down the size you made, and voila, you have your pattern pieces all cut out. And there you have it, our first Poppy Pattern PDF tutorial. Stay tuned. I'll have plenty more where this came from. Thanks, guys. Bye.